Good morning, mums and dads. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of April, and welcome to our Positive Daily Zoom Boom. And I say welcome, dads, because I think we have a few dads subscribing to our SoundCloud podcast, where these recordings get put each day. So welcome to the men in the world who are also listening and hopefully gaining some insights and pleasure from these Zoom Booms. So I'm Krissy Regan, your host, and I'm the founder of Mindful Mums Queensland. I am an author, a poet, a project manager, health and wellness coach, and a mum. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about pressure and the immense pressure that you may find yourself under at this time, and why it's important to recognize the effect that pressure is having on you, and really a story to help you feel better about pressure and expectations. So if you're starting to feel too much pressure, I want you today to cut yourself some slack. And why is that? Because I was homeschooled, not just for 6 weeks or 2 months, but I was homeschooled for 6 years by two busy working parents. And they worked at home permanently. So in that 6 years, which was probably my most formative years, what would be now prep to year 6 or year 1 to year 6 or reception to year 6, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are in the world, I did my school at home every day. And my parents worked at home every day. And we grew up in a very remote area. We didn't have fixed electricity, I think, until I was about 8 or 9. And we certainly didn't have internet, and we certainly didn't have even DVD players or Netflix or any of the mod things that I have in my home for my children. So generally I would start my school at 7 in the morning, and I would usually be done by 9 a.m. And then I would spend the rest of the day helping them with their work or doing my chores, watching TV and playing. I used to milk the cows by myself at 7. I had no fear about doing that. I fed animals and I looked after our pets. We had dogs and cats and birds and all sorts of things. Pardon me, I baked biscuits and cakes, and I learned how to kill and butcher animals and to grow food to eat. My parents were not two people with uni degrees. In fact, their education only went up until year 10. And I never met my teacher, ever. And she lived in another city far away. And the only communication I had with her was her little smiley faces and remarks on the bottom of my course books. So nothing was online. I received all my course books for the year in December the previous year. So in December, I would open this huge parcel and I would go through everything, and I would look at what grade 1 was, grade 2 was, grade 3 was, grade 4 was, and I would excitedly look at all the work that was in that parcel for me for the year. And then usually I would start my schoolwork immediately in December. And generally by July, I would have finished my entire year's worth of allocated schoolwork in maths and English and science. So then what did I do for the remaining 6 months of the year? Well, I did my chores and I helped my parents and I cleaned and I cooked and I baked and I watched TV and I played. And why I wanted to share this is because I think it's quite important when we start to think about what it is that I learned. So I learned work ethic. I learned life skills, I learned independence, I learned resilience, I learned how to cook and clean up, and I learned that we have to work hard for money. And none of those skills are listed on my CV at all. And I'm thinking I might add them onto my CV after COVID is over. You know, I didn't go on holidays ever. Our big outing each year was to the local town for the town fair or the show, the big show, where there was rides and animals and all sorts of things. I didn't go on an aeroplane until I was in my late teens. I did go to university and I got a science degree. And when I felt that the lecturers were useless or didn't explain things properly or were too boring, I stayed at home and I learned from the books myself, independently. I took 3 jobs at university to support myself, and I had the confidence to travel around the world on my own and to stand up for myself and to take whatever jobs I needed to make money. So why am I telling you this? What I really want you to do and to know at this time is that whatever you do is okay, because your best is good enough. Every day, your best is good enough. So the experience that your child has right now, as long as it's not all negative, is going to be okay. Because just you have to be mindful not to put too much pressure on yourself and also have too much expectations of them. Some days will be harder than others, and your work will suffer. You may have to prioritize your employer that day over attending every online class that your school has arranged for them. And just remember, this is not forever. This is just a blip for them. It's not 6 years. At minimum, a lot of people will only be doing this for 6 weeks. For other countries, it might be slightly longer. I appreciate that. The important thing is really just to let go of your expectations and to focus on what really needs to get done at this time, which also might mean looking after yourself. So I know that many children are very stressed, and especially older children, maybe they're ones who are in year 12 and think, well, this is crazy. How am I going to get a degree? How am I going to get into university? How am I going to finish all the things that I want to finish this year? And most of us who've been to university know that sometimes you faff around for the entire term and then you cram for 3 days before the exam or even the night before the exam, and you learn everything you need to know to pass, and you get your degree and you go on and you live a happy, healthy life as an adult. And I think what I want to just encourage you to do today is, if you have older children who are struggling, remind them what it's like at university when you faff around for the entire term and then cram at the end. Or indeed, you can share my story. My story is I was homeschooled for 6 years. I attained a science degree. I traveled all over the world. I've had good jobs. I've written a book. I've done everything I've always wanted to do. And every day for my kids, I just want to show up and do the best that I can. And that when I go to bed each night, I ask myself, did I do the best that I could today? And, generally the answer is yes, I did the best that I could today. And that's what I would love you to ask yourself is, did I do the best that I could today? So really, that's my message for you. And I hope that you find it valuable and useful and encouraging, and that, you can maybe look at this time a little bit differently through a longer view. Also think about the long-term skills that your children may learn during this time, and also maybe to turn down the noise and to just focus on the simple things and to do your best. So I'd like to invite you to relax into a meditation. So you can sit comfortably or lie down. Let's just close our eyes and take 5 big centering breaths. Let's open the sunroof of our head. Just open that little sunroof, about a foot. And if you're ending your day or just starting your day, let all of your expectations and your doubts float out the sunroof. We're just going to flood out the sunroof gently. The swirling in the air. And then they dissolve. You have done your best today. You will do your best today. Whatever that looks like for your family. Only you know what's best for you. Only you know what's best for your children. You know your children's personalities and their characters, and their strengths and their weaknesses. You know your own personality, your character, your strengths and your weaknesses. Right now is a time to focus on your strengths and the strengths of those around you. Allow yourself to bask in your strengths. Forget about your weaknesses. You are hardworking. You are resilient. You are adaptable. You are kind. And your best is good enough. My best is good enough. My best is different from your best. Take some moments each day to remind yourself of this. Take some moments each day to know that your best is good enough. Take long, deep breaths when you feel frustrated or overwhelmed. Sometimes things can wait. You can choose what your priorities are. Sometimes it will be you. Sometimes it will be them. Sometimes technology won't help you. Sometimes you'll feel like you're letting people down. But just know at the end of each day that you have done your best for that day. And tomorrow is a brand new day. Children will feed off your energy. You also feed off your energy. And your surroundings feed off your energy. Keeping your energy positive, healthy, calm, consistent and balanced is the best way right now to ensure that whatever happens, it will be okay. Focus on your strengths, on your resilience. I invite you just to sit there now comfortably, thanking yourself for doing your best each day and showing up. You may now open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found today's Zoom Boom useful. I hope you found it positive and a story that you can share with your children. And to remind yourself that even when things don't seem normal or right, they're fine for now. So have an awesome day or a great sleep if you're about to hit the hay. And I'm sending you health and well wishes from my house on Wellness Wednesday. I'm Krissy. Thank you. Take care. Bye.